So let's take a moment here. Let's really get in touch with our inner landscape. If you are driving, please do not attempt this. But if you are here with us and you are seated or standing, allow yourself to take a moment to take a deep, deep breath into your belly. Take in the entire universe as you breathe in. And let that breath continue to expand your belly and expand the solar plexus. And continue to breathe all the way up into the heart. And hold it there for just a few moments. Bring in any elevated emotions that awakens your connection with the divine within you. And breathe all the way up. Exhale through the throat, through the third eye, through the center of your head, and out the crown of your head. Once you're ready, you can just slowly open your eyes. Feel into the presence of your spirit guides, my spirit guides, your ancestors, my ancestors, the ascended masters, the infinite dimensions. The doors are open. Let us all move into this 0-point field, where in this moment in time as we sit together, we cast away our identities, we cast away our name, our body. We cast away the notion of time and space. And come into this beautiful stillness. Come in here to remember. Let me take a good look at you. Beautiful. Can you feel it? Can you feel the presence of the Most High, the most divine expression of you? Okay. So this is going to be an interactive transmission. The reason why I would love that to be an interactive one is because this isn't about me. This is not about what I can do for you. This is truly a discovery journey. And for the next 45 minutes to 1 hour, we're going to dive deep into a place where you can truly be so up close and personal with your highest self. Because let's really be honest, how often do you actually embody your highest self? Do you actually even know what she likes? Do you know how she dresses? Do you know what she prefers? How often do you inhabit this sacred space within you? Or is it far too often that you give your power away, that you let yourself run away with this external thing we call time. All the things you have to do, the errands, the people you have to meet. Who are you? Do you ever ask that question? Do you ever ask, like, what is the whole point of doing this? What's the whole point of being here? And before I go any further, I would like to also preface this by saying that I will be using the words the divine, Tao, the cosmos, cosmic consciousness, God, the infinite, interchangeably, or even the beloved. And isn't it so beautiful and so apt that something so limitless, something so beyond, doesn't actually have one name. It can be the absolute, it can be the unnamed, the unnameable. And it's quite apt, I think, because if it is definable, then it's not the Tao, it's not God, it's not the divine, it's not the infinite. And so when we tap into this space today, you being here, what I would love for you right now is to really, really, really be honest. Really be honest. Who are you right now, in this moment? Put that down in the comment section, share that with me. The more you interact, the more energy can flow, and the more we can work our alchemical magic together. So who are you right now? Right in this moment as we speak. Right at this moment where we're sitting here across each other. If I were to ask you, who are you? What would you say? What would you say? I'll give this a moment as you respond. Who are you right now in this moment? Jenny. I'm everyone. Yes, Camellia. Looks like you've entered beyond the 0-point field. You are everyone, everywhere, all at once. So Nicole, is that the answer to who are you at this moment? Mind and heart wanting to get healthy, peaceful, beautiful. Okay. Let's wait for a little moment to see any more comes up. Okay. So first and foremost, anything you want, that you truly want, not because someone told you you should, or that society thinks it'll be good if you do, and you have to be very, very honest, and you have to be very clear on that yourself. What you want already exists in the field, the infinite field of potential. It already exists, which is why you can call it, which is why you can sense it, which is why you can want it. So if you knew it already exists, can you feel your wholeness right in this moment? Can you feel that after all, you can be grateful for its existence already? Can you feel that? Kathleen, yes, to fully embrace the presence and honor myself. Caroline, right now. So these are very interesting answers. Peace in my heart. So who are you right now? Are all of these things. So what's the gap between this and your highest self then? I'm curious. I'm actually very, very curious to know. So please let me know, what is the gap then? Can you see what is the gap between who are you right now and your highest self? I have deterred myself to care for my daughter and lost sight of me. Okay. So let's take a moment. Is it an illusion? Laurette, do you mean who are you right now? Is an illusion? Or do you mean your highest self is an illusion? The gap. Ah, interesting. Yes, in short. In short, yes. 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 And yet, so many of us don't even see it. And why aren't you embodying it if you knew it was an illusion, is the question. If you knew it was an illusion. I've only felt like I was with my higher self when there was a knowing in my mind to know what I had to do in that moment. Laurette, because we give ourselves away. Caroline, so deep. I would say, I think I carry all the things going on in the world in my heart. There is only ever one of us here. There is only ever one of us here. If you knew how gloriously whole you are, if only you knew that God lives through you, you would see that everything and everyone is a reflection, an extension of the divine. Every single thing that you witness. And why do we see so much violence and suffering in the world, and at the same time see so much beauty? And yet, like Caroline says here, so sad. Would you ask yourself, why do I focus so much on what saddens me? When there is also on the other side of the coin so much beauty to revel, so much beauty to love, so much beauty to rejoice. And I'm not saying no suffering ever happens in the world, there's no sadness. I'm not saying that at all. It does. And because humanity has been so ignorant, we have forgotten that we have forgotten that we are divine. That is why the world is in the state it is now. And the real question is, what are we doing about it? And the real question is, what are we doing with ourselves? What are we doing to remember that the power is always within us? That indestructible power. Now I want to get into a real honest conversation with you, because I am observing a real collective sweep of sleepiness, including in the spiritual community. And I have no qualms, like I don't hold myself back anymore when I talk about this, because we don't have time. I mean, time never existed, but literally it has to be now. Like all of us are in this moment, right here, right now, asked to wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up. Can you see the gap? Can you actually wake the F up? Please. Can you sense this collective sleepiness where everyone is like, oh, one day the world will be so peaceful. One day I will let myself do this. One day I will have that, and so then I can do that. One day, one day, one day. When really, we have to wake up right here, right now, to the illusions of separation, things that are holding us back, that does not even actually truly exist, and we have to get over, move through, really, the fears, the tentacles of resistance, so that we can really wake up. Yes, Laurette. I see most people caught in their thoughts and not present. Yes, because if you are fully present, if you are fully present, you will feel God in you. You will feel your divinity. And as your divinity, you will not feel fear. You will see through the illusions. You will see through the illusions of separation. And I want to go really deep in here, because I speak from my own direct experience. I don't speak from a book. I don't speak from a concept. And I have gone through in 2023, I was doing this work already. I was a spiritual mentor. I was talking to women, mentoring women, going through their self-love journey. And when I made a trip to Isle of Skye, I heard God speak to me. It said, that voice said to me, the divine desires to live through you. That was the first time I heard this, and it sent me on this incredible journey where I had to really be broken open. My ego had to be broken open. The idea of what if we can we really live without money? Can we really, what if I did this? What if they reject me? What if I'm not good enough? All the things that we as mystics, healers, spiritual leaders, transformers are here to do, multidimensional women. We get pulled back into the matrix, even though we can transcend 3D into 5D, and then we suddenly come back, and then we're like, oh my God, too much. And I can sit here telling you this because I was completely broken open. My ego was completely like, I went through the journey of losing everything and really losing everything. After that whole experience, I thought I was losing my mind, first and foremost. I started speaking to people about what I heard, what I experienced. And most of the people just gave me this wide-eyed look like, oh wow, that's amazing. And I thought I was going crazy. But now I know it wouldn't have been understood if I did not understand it myself. And so to be able to speak to you here, to be able to share this profound frequency with you, because it's not my words that's going to allow you to feel it. It's my frequency. It's because I have fully accepted this divine essence that is working through me, as me, for me. I cannot make a mistake. I cannot make a failure, because everything is for me. So maybe it will take me 10 years to finally get it, but I am on the journey. Are you? Too many of us fall back asleep. We wake up and then we go back to sleep because we're so afraid of the light. We're so afraid of the love, the immensity of the love of the divine. That love is very huge and all-encompassing. That love takes away, that love, the Sufis call it like a jealous love, because that love only ever wants to be the only thing that exists in your life. And I know it may sound profoundly almost like, whoa, that's a lot. But the feeling of it is actually the only truth that exists. The only truth that there is only one, and one, and one, always ever one. That person you hate, that person you dislike, the person you thought had taken the opportunity away from you, the person you thought that has caused you to fear today, let me tell you this. They are also the extension of the divine. Until you can fully see that, you're going to be held back by your judgment, by your fears, by your past experience. And as divine beings, we were never meant to be held back by any of these things. Past experiences and emotions are meant to send us to the shore of your brilliance, the shore of your divine radiance, the shore of your next level experience, your next level expression. Because as divine beings, if we're not expanding, then we're going backwards. And that is unnatural. Even for Mother Nature, you can see nothing is actually growing backwards. Even in death, they are nourishing others. And my profound hope for you, my intention being here, speaking boldly, sharing my work and working with women and mentoring women, like I'm not doing this for fun. Like I'm doing this because it's a mission, it's a purpose. And this collective sleepiness, especially with women, because we have been raised and indoctrinated to think that we need to put ourselves second or third or last. And worst of all, women have never really been taught how to really handle money. And so we think, well, if I ask for support or if I spend money on support, then it's like a huge waste. I can do it on my own. Or even worse, thinking if you're asking for support, there's something wrong with you. These are all illusions of separation. I can tell you that I've been in the company of the most incredible, successful women, and they know that their own value is a totally like self-contained thing. And when they go out to serve others, when they're out there in their highest level of service, that's another contained thing. This is self-leadership. And they're not competing with each other. They're actually walking side by side together, because this is not about who's better, who's higher, who's greater, who's richer, who's prettier. We've got to stop that. That has to stop. And it starts within you. It starts with you. The minute you say, well, they have a different value than I do, and everyone looks unique and different. Full stop. I have a different way of speaking. You have a different way of speaking. But we're all doing God's work. Full stop. The minute you can do that, You can embody a higher level of frequency, and you're on your way to doing God's work. And when we do God's work, get ready for God's level pay, like literally. And that level of compensation is beyond the mind. But you've got to really believe that. You've got to really be the one to say, I value that. I actually see my audience before I even turn on this camera. I see the women who are going to be here listening to me already. I see their lives being changed already. And maybe there's only one person listening to me right now, but it doesn't matter, because my voice is going to reach into the ethers beyond time and space. And you have to think and you have to believe in the same thing, if not more, than that level of energy. Can you feel that? So, Amma, is it Amma? Emma, I can wake up but can't seem to stay there. That's an excellent thing. We're going to talk about that in a bit. And Debbie, yeah, I met the Kalik of the hut, the hill on sky, such a special place. It really is such a magical place. When I went to Sky, I mean, we had like a really bizarre weather situation when we went there, so I knew that everything was divinely orchestrated, because it was supposed to be like a really cold, chilly kind of day. But when we were walking towards the fairy pool, it was suddenly like so hot. The sun was shining and was beating down on us. Like we were literally out there, and I had to strip. My dress was there. We were taking photos, and I literally heard the divine desires to live through you. That was the first time. Like right now, it just feels so natural. But at the time, it was like the first time ever that I literally felt it. Like I really felt it. And I think in the early days of my tea practice, you know, I am a wayfarer of the way of tea. I'm a student of tea. I am a wisdom keeper of tea ceremonies. I always felt like, wow, I can cry. I can almost feel tears just pouring down my face every time when I'm holding a bowl of tea in my hands, because, and I see it now, right now, that I was actually feeling God. I was journeying home within me, and that's where God resides, is right here in the heart, in my heart. And every time I connect with tea, it always opens that door up. And I think the very first part of the journey requires all of us to really empty ourselves out, decolonize ourselves really of all the things that we were taught that is limiting us. Emptying our bodies of all the nervous energy that we never dealt with, that we never really embraced and alchemized, and really decolonizing the spirit, meaning what kind of spiritual yardstick am I actually giving myself? And more importantly, if you've ever worked with a mentor or a teacher, also what kind of energy of or shadow of the mother figure are you placing on your mentor or teacher? Because a lot of us, especially in the West, we don't actually we didn't grow up with like a very clear relationship like we do in the East of a teacher and a student. And a lot of times, because I did have quite a traditional Chinese upbringing, even though I rebelled so bad, like I rebelled against it so hard when I was growing up, like I was like rejecting everything in my culture when I was growing up. But in hindsight, I can see it right now, the value of it, because you really understand where you're standing in terms of your relationship with your mentor. I've had people who projected on me. I had people who who almost gave me this role of their mother, but I'm not, which begs this real big question of like, you know, as women, especially as women, if we were to be able, just one of us, just one person at a time, one woman at a time, if we can lead ourselves, if we can really see our own power, if we can really embody the sacred, moment by moment, if we can live with the intangible and the human at the same time, imagine what kind of world we can truly live in. We won't be lashing out at each other, we won't be talking shite about each other, we won't be projecting the mother image on a teacher, hoping to be seen, hoping to be liked, doing whatever it is. Like I was talking to a beautiful woman about my past, like 10 years in my 20s, 10 years of anorexia. And she asked me, you know, if I could write a biography about that, what would I say? Oh, Amma, Sky is in Scotland. So when she asked me that question, I said, you know, I would actually say that I would talk about my anorexia. I would talk about how even in the lowest point, almost to at death's door, I still couldn't see what was wrong with me because I was so sucked in to the matrix of playing the role of someone, whoever it is that I was talking to the point where if I can envision it, it's almost like a stick figure that is, or a figure, but it's completely colorless, and you only have lines to draw a figure, and the color just you put in as and when whoever that's playing with it. That was me. I hated my accent. I was terrified of speaking. I hated my body. I didn't even look at myself when I dressed. I dressed in the semi-darkness. I hated the way my face looked. I wish I had a different skin color. I wish I had bigger eyes. Like I used to try all sorts of tricks to change my face, the way I look. And now I can sit here and tell you, you know what? Like I can be silly with myself. I can look stupid. I can look whatever I want to look, and it's fine. And I love myself. I can't believe I am saying that, but I honestly love everything about me. I have a little tummy. I'm not perfect. My boobs are sagging, and I'm perfect. I feel the divinity working through me in all the ways. In all ways. Debbie, the Isle of Skye is in my beautiful Scotland. Oh my gosh, Debbie, which part of Scotland are you in? I am in Edinburgh, by the way, so not too far from you, hopefully. Yes, Amma. Oh my goodness. I hope I'm pronouncing your name correctly. And by the way, if I'm not pronouncing your name correctly, please let me know. Please let me know. I want to make sure that it's correct. So, let's take a moment right now. Aberdeen. Amazing, Amma. Okay, cool. I love that. Beautiful. My husband is actually born in Edinburgh, but he lived in Aberdeen for a couple of years, his formative years. So maybe he knows you if you've been there for a long time. Small village, Piedmont, amazing. Okay, so let's get real here. Let's have a really honest conversation. Let's talk about this. Let's really open up to this question. Like, amazing. Okay. To be is to be divine. To be is to be divine. Can we take a moment here to feel into your heart? To awaken your highest frequency. And let's take a deep breath into the belly first. Draw the energy into the belly and let it expand into the solar plexus once again and into the heart. And I want you to inhale one more time so that the breath becomes bigger than the body. Let it awaken your awareness of the golden egg that surrounds you. And exhale through the mouth. And I want you to remain aware of the golden egg that surrounds you, all around you, above, below, left and right, front and back. I want you to squeeze your pelvic bowl, squeeze the perineum just a little bit gently to signal to your body that you're locked and loaded. Keep breathing through the belly, through your nose. Bring your awareness back into the heart. Sense the heart in the front and the back of your chest. And I want you to start to sense the presence of the highest self. It's like a divine symphony that your highest frequency is playing right now. And is putting together a figure, which is the highest self. Can you feel her presence? What is she wearing? Become aware of how she looks. Where is she? Continue to channel the energy in your heart towards completing this figure of your highest self. What is she doing? Take this moment to really be there with her. Let your heart and her heart merge as one. Because in this energy field, in no time, no space, no body, you become everybody, anybody, anywhere, anytime. So this is your time to decide, your time to choose, to embody your highest self right now. Feel it. Become aware of that feeling of being the highest self. Feel it move through you. Feel it move all around you. Truly feel it. Let it widen your golden egg. Let it move it into wider field, encompassing more, expanding your vessel to hold more. For the ones who desire to still the mind a little bit more, just breathe into your third eye. Enter into the center of your head with the light. And as you exhale, bring it into the heart. Bring the mind down into the heart. Merge the mind into the heart. And continue to generate energy out through the heart, connecting you to the heart of the highest self, to the point where both of you become one heart beating together. And whenever you're ready, you can come out and share in the comments what you felt. Bring it to activation together. Calm. Beautiful. You are now awake. Do not go back to sleep. Some of us are here, well, all of us are here to really, truly live an incredible life. But only a few will actually truly believe in that. Visionaries who are waking up and choosing to transcend the self, to transcend the matrix. And I'm not saying it's easy. Hell no. Do you know how many people have said to me, stop, this is crazy talk, nobody's gonna get what you're saying. And I realized that I had moments when I was like, maybe this is not for me, maybe I really should give up. Until I realized that actually I don't have a choice. I am here to do this work, and the only way that is showing me is to really go beyond the self, to really transcend the self. And so I asked myself, what is my contribution? I had no answer. I had to ask God. I had to ask the divine, what would you like me to do here? What is it that you want me to do here? I'm stumped. And while I waited and waited for the clarity for this to happen, I actually, looking back now, I know why the answer took a while. I had to really clarify my spiritual ego. And this is a real question for all of you. When does your spiritual ego take up space? You know, the moment when you can actually realize that this is about you and also not about you, because at the moment that we are spiritualizing, as we move through our own journey, there's a greater journey that's also happening through you. The greater journey of the divine desiring to live through you, the greater journey of the divine desiring to be expressed through you. Because even if anyone asked me, like, you know, how can you be so sure? How can you be so sure that the divine wants what you want? You know how I know? I actually don't know. I cannot be sure. And that is the nature of everything. We live truly. We come from the unknown, and we are here unfolding as the unknown creates through us. And so we are the creator. We are the creator of the life that we signed up, our soul contract. We signed up to come here to do. And how it pans out, how it unfolds, truly I know deep down that it's still unwritten. Just as the symphony, this creation called the universe as we speak, this cosmos is still unfolding, and it is unfolding through us. And so honestly, we are moving way too slow. We are all caught up in this whole crazy thing of like the economy, the what if I don't have a house anymore? What if I go into debt? What if? We have to understand that we are working with the law of the universe here. The laws of the universe, law of compensation, law of reciprocation, amongst the others. Like, we have to really go back into this ancient wisdom to understand that, you know, what we're being so caught up in, which is like all these literal analytical mind kind of thing. And I'm not saying it's bad, by the way. The analytical mind, the logical mind was developed for a very good reason. It's for us to make sure that we survive when a bear comes running at us. But what happened after that, as we evolve, is somehow humans started to use the logical and the analytical mind on everything. It's like, you know, like when you have a cutlery and you have a fork, a knife, and a spoon, suddenly humans are using the knife on everything. You're using the knife to cut, you're using the knife to eat, you're using the knife as a spoon. Like, you're gonna cut yourself. And that's what's been happening. And you know, I really want to be clear is that the women that I work with, that I call my divine clients, you know, I am so incredibly honored to work with them, because they are powerful women who are interested in asking, what is the whole purpose of being here, while dealing with the things in their lives, divorces, house issues, like their kids, family, business, career, bosses, like all at once. They carry the weight of their personal life, and they still walk with the vision of the new earth. They still walk with this devotion. And every day as I watch this transformation, as a mentor, my work is not to say, teach you what you don't know. This work is actually truly guiding you into remembering. Like, I'm not to I'm not here to put more on you. I'm here to unveil your radiance. And to unveil the radiance, first and foremost, you have to unlearn. You have to empty out all the junk, all the crap that you carry around. And then we can walk further. Then we can fly. Then we can quantum leap. Anybody who tells you that, they're going to teach you in 30 days or whatever, I would question that. And there's a lot of spiritual yucky stuff going on here that I'm not cool with. And I think it contributes to the collective sleepiness because everyone has become so comfortable with their set ways and habits and familiar patterns, instant gratification, that somehow you locked yourself into a cage where the door is right open, but you don't see the door is actually open. And it's a gilded cage. So the women who walk with me, they actually choose to walk with me, not because I can give them things or teach things or fix things for them, but because they want to, they choose to shift things for them. They actually say, you know what, I can be the one who can do this, and I want to be supported doing this. And they choose to embrace their divine presence fully. They don't say, well, it's impossible. They say, it's really possible, and I want to do it. And I want to do it with support. I want to do it with someone who has completely no shame, no hold back on telling me when I step back from my divinity. They choose to free their divine essence and share it to radiate into the world through a heart that is in overflow and through a heart that is radiantly here to receive the abundance that they're worthy of anyway. This is a crystalline vessel that is ever expanding. And as more women do this, the more this crystalline vessel, which is the heart of Mother Earth, the heart of this powerful world that we live in, is going to expand. So I'm very clear on my work. My work is here to bring out the godliness in you, the divinity in you. Because until then, we will all be sleeping. We will all just be sleeping. I'm here to mirror back to you what I already see in you, that you have forgotten, that you have forgotten. Your most high, your most divine essence, your radiant truth. You are one with the infinite. You belong to the house of gods. Do you remember? Or are you so lost, still lost in the buts? But, my husband, but, my sister, but, my auntie, my uncle, but. Can we put that down? Can we put that sword down? Amma, I love you too, Amma. What a declaration. I've seen it really fires me up because I see this all the time. I see women coming into my spaces, like on live talks like this, and they get really lit up. And then once they tune out, they go back because it's so easy. It's so easy to go back into your daily life because it's everywhere. It's all around you until you actually say to yourself, no more. No, I'm not going to drop back into that frequency. I'm not going to walk back into that sleepiness. I'm not going back to sleep. And yes, at the beginning, it will feel like I need to really go beyond myself. I need to really make a decision. I really need to create space for that. At the beginning, yes, because we're all so caught up in this, oh, everyone is hurting me, oh, everyone is stopping me from doing what I really want to do. But let's let's be really real. Yes, it's not easy. I didn't say it's gonna be easy. But it is the one and only reason you're here. The one and only reason we are all here. And you get to do life in the most delicious way. Most delicious way. But you've got to decide. You have to say to yourself, no, I'm gonna see through this veil of illusions. And especially for the ones who already see the illusion, come on. What the hell are you doing? What are you waiting for? And trust me, I've had many moments when I thought, you know what, maybe I should go back to sleep. Maybe I should just pretend I never ever awakened. Because it does feel hard. And this is why mentorship is non-negotiable in my life. I've got people supporting me. I've got teachers, mentors who see right through me and they don't buy my bullshit. And this is exactly what I do with my clients as well. Like, I don't buy your bullshit. I don't buy your bullshit at all. I don't buy it because I see who you are. I see your divinity. I see your radiance. I'm gonna share a little story here and then we'll see where this goes, perhaps to completion. Recently, I discovered, like, you know, I have a newsletter. And by the way, if you want to subscribe, you're very welcome to be a newsletter subscriber. Just let me know. You can check out my website in the link in my bio, and then you can sign up. But I recently discovered, like, okay, I don't like the feeling of seeing people unsubscribing. Like, I had that moment quite recently, I think early January. And I said to myself, you know, I really want to get over this feeling. Like, I really want to dive deep into why I feel like this when someone unsubscribes. Because if I know that everything is divinely happening for me, through me, as a fractal of the divine, as it is for you as well, then surely there is something here that I need to look at. And I did. I realized that it has echoes of how women are told, you know, don't talk too much, don't show off too much, don't sell too much. It's got all those debris of, like, I see this in so many, like, beautiful women who work in the spiritual realm, who they send out emails and say, I'm so sorry that I need to send this email to you. I don't mean to bombard your inbox. Like, what is this? And I unconsciously, probably subconsciously took that on, and it flared up my insecurity and thought, well, maybe I should probably cut back on my newsletter so that not so many people hate it and unsubscribe. And then I checked myself and I told myself, and I asked myself actually, like, where is this illusion coming from? Because it doesn't feel real to me. Like, somebody else is doing it, but I didn't like it. I didn't think that they needed to apologize. I love getting their newsletter, so why should I do the same? And so I sent a loving message to my people on social media as well as my newsletters. I said, you're invited to unsubscribe, because I'm not going to stop sharing what I'm selling, sharing my milestones. I'm not going to stop. And I send as frequently as I want to, or as infrequently as I want to. And you get to stay. You're very welcome to stay. You're also very welcome to leave. And this would never have happened like 4 years ago. Never, ever. And it took friendships that crumbled. It took groups that I thought I belonged to that ejected me, or I left on my own basis, to really get this, is that I was never rejected. I was never left out cold. I was never denied, because my soul already knew what I needed to keep moving forward. If I didn't leave those places, if I wasn't ejected or rejected, I wouldn't have expanded, because I would have been so codependent on their acceptance of me. And so I wouldn't be sitting here talking to you about God and rejection and all of these things. Never. I wouldn't be here. And so I want you to really, really, really be honest with yourself. Why can't you embody your highest self in this moment? Does your mind say to you that, oh, it's because I don't have the money yet, or it's because I don't have the connections yet, it's because I don't have this yet, da 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 da. Like, I really want you to burn that bullshit up. And if you are having a hard time doing that, you can reach out to me, because I have an incredible offering that will assist you into full expression and beyond. It's called Life of Ceremony. And Life of Ceremony is on pre-sale right now. We're going to do all the things from March 3rd to the 6th of June. We're going to have incredible ceremonial activations. We're going to have a mentorship space where we can really dial into what's going on in you. And we're going to also have live mentorship calls. And because I want you to really dial into your divine expression, you're going to receive a sacred set of all the most divine things. Tea from ancient lands, a ceramic handmade bowl, and other beautiful surprises. I'm not going to spoil it, so that you can come into ceremony with me. Do you want to know more about the ceremonies? I would love to share. Let me know. I'm going to take a pause and read your comments. Oh my god! Ilana! Hello, Ilana! Oh my goodness. Love all of this. Aligns with my morning meditation. Very powerful awareness, questions and freedom from old patterns. Much love. Yes. Yes to full expression. Yes, yes, yes. So much love for you. And Debbie, thank you for being awake. I also have a community of women who are also awake, but there is so many people still asleep. Yes. I think the next level for spiritual women is really, and I saw this in a powerful meditation that I was sitting with tea in ceremony, and I saw this, is that and this is where I am at. I really want to be the role model for spiritual women, to know that you get to be spiritual and wealthy at the same time. Like, this is something that I think a lot of spiritual mystics and healers, like even the most prominent teachers, tend to have a hard time with. And I think it's time that we really alchemize it, because I think there's so much good in understanding our relationship with being awake, being awake, and also understanding that matter and spirit are one and the same. And the more we're able to embrace the power of abundance, which is money in this world, in this realm that we're living in this dimension, the more we're able to actually take our wakefulness to the next level. I speak to a lot of spiritual women who are doing incredible work, beautiful work. And then I ask them, because I'm quite blunt like this right now, these days, I asked them, like, how do you make money? Like, how does this, is this profitable? Like, you're hosting circles and stuff like that. You're doing a lot. And 9 out of 10 women tell me that it doesn't actually support them. They have to do other things. They have to do other work. And that begs the question, like, why isn't this something that can fully support your livelihood? I mean, you can choose to have other jobs and stuff. Like, I'm not saying that's the wrong thing, but like if you want this to be fully supportive, like there needs to be a deeper inquiry here to why it isn't. Is there some kind of limiting belief that it's not going to, and limiting belief in the sense that you're not meant to be paid for it? Yeah, we have to be really clear, because what you're doing is immense. What you're doing is literally a shift in the paradigm, and yet you're not compensated for it? What's going on here? And I do work with a lot of women who are not spiritual entrepreneurs. They have a normal career, they have a normal family, blah blah blah, and they come in and they do the work with me, and they take this out into their family lives because they want to live this legacy and leave it to their daughters, to their sons, and bring it into their workplace eventually somehow. It became a very natural progression. So it has to be so embodied, you know. You can't. That's why I think a lot of spiritual women are, especially spiritual entrepreneurs, are quite disillusioned, because it's like, I'm so embodied, I love the divine, I can feel the divine, but like you're destitute, you're struggling for bills, and how is that going to set your nervous system at ease? So everything is a lie. You're not embodied, because the divine wants what you want. You have to let the divine live through you in all the ways, not just in the meditation center, but everything, everywhere. And it goes both ways. And we have to be so clear. It's all clear channels. They're not stuck with each other. Nicole, how do you suggest getting into and staying in the state of higher self? Meditation, nature, focusing on the heart like we did? So, beautiful question, Nicole. All right. So, this is where I really want to just drop in and share a little bit about my own personal experience, and then you can ask more questions, and let's see where we end with this today. And thank you so much for staying on if you're still here. This is incredible. So Nicole's question. So one of the pillars, I would say, in the work that I do is we go into ceremony. And let me make sure you can see me. Give me some hearts if you can see me. I just want to make sure, because my screen is fritzing, so I don't know if you're still here and you can hear me. So perfect. So one of the core things that we start doing that I always hear continuously that is highly transformative for my clients when they come in and they don't actually expect it. I think that's why it's even more transformative. Is the tea ceremony activations. And you may have been to a tea ceremony, you may have heard of it, but like the tea ceremony activations that I do, and this is why I call it tea ceremony activation, is where we really move into a place of ancient remembrance. There's something very ancient about it, where you get back in touch with the heart of Mother Earth, that secret, sacred place that is deeply, deeply hidden, this hidden city. And you start to connect with the cosmos. So you're both ends, you're descending and ascending. And you start to enter a portal where there's no time, no space, no name. And then we transcend and move even deeper through the eye of the needle, into the 0 point field. This is what we do in the ceremony. This is what we do in the activation. Because the first thing you have to release and surrender is your analytical mind. We are living in an age of information where you can read sacred texts. You can, one of the things I would also recommend is to read sacred poems. I love Sufi poems because they're not directly telling you what to do. They invoke a frequency. They invoke something that's deeply hidden within you. And they're not directly telling you what to do. And this is very, very important, because your literal mind, and I think because we are living in such a materialist world, even if you were given like the book of the golden flower that teaches you how to cultivate an immortal body, 9 out of 10 people are going to totally miss the point, because you're so trained to take things literally. And this is why we're seeing in the world right now all these crazy stuff like transhumanism and oh God, like putting a robot into the womb and trying to recreate a feminine body that is robotic, like, you know what I mean? Playing God. When what we actually have totally missed as a point is the sacred remembrance. And this is beyond words. It transcends the mind. That's all I can really say. You have to be in a place in the field where your logical mind is out of the picture. I like to say it's almost like you're melting the logical mind in the presence of love. Until your mind can do that, it will always take you out. It will always take you out. And part of the thing of why it's happening is because you are allowing it to. You as the soul, you as the divine being, you as the divinity that you are, you as God. So again, going back to what I was talking about, you have to decide to go beyond who you think you are right now. You have to be so delulu if you have to. Delulu until it becomes true Lulu. And I think what really helped me and what I constantly bring to the spaces that I'm in is that there's a greater power that is happening. There's a greater evolution that's happening beyond our own evolution. You can feel it. If you're a mystic or a spiritual person, you can feel that. You can feel that there's something burgeoning, there's something happening, and you're part of it. But until you can take your mind out of this whole I'm struggling and I have no one helping me and I want to do all these things but I'm broke mentality, you're always going to be limited. You're always going to be limited, because I want to be really honest with you, it's not a comfortable path. Like all great successes, like successful people, they take huge risks. We call it risks, but there's no charge for me when I say risk. But for some people, it means everything. Scary, can't do it, risky. But I neutralize the word risk. What it means to me is like God opening up. God living through me. God expanding my vessel. And that God is one with me. It's one with me. It's so important. It's really, really important. Especially for spiritual people. Like I think it's time. Like we got to really, really crack this illusion, this invisible border that we place around us, saying like, I would love to go to this retreat. I would love to go into this mentorship, but I don't have money. No, doesn't work that way. Let me tell you that. Personal experience. Like this is the same thing as back in the ancient days when not so long ago people had to actually make a pilgrimage, journey through the thick and thin, and then climb the stairs to the temple and ask the master, can I be your disciple please? That was their payment. Sometimes the master even have to slap them or beat them up. And if they are still there, they're going to be the apprentice. You know what I mean? And nowadays, it's like we're not even, we don't even dare to lift a finger when we look at the person. Like, oh, that's too much. Close. Hello. Excuse me. Can you take a moment and actually ask your highest self if she would actually do that? No. She would actually sit there and say, oh my God, that number is not going to even look big to you at all. Like for me, that's nothing. But your current version will see it's like, oh my God, that is a lot. Happened to me. At every stage actually, it still happens. And at every stage, you gotta decide, am I going to expand my vessel this time? Or do I say sayonara, next time maybe? And that next time can be your next life. Because the Tao, God, is a compassionate teacher. Comes back, but that's probably next life. So the question is, this life, what would you like to do? What would you decide to complete? Amma is asking, and how can we empty of all our garbage that you said must happen first? I have a beautiful activation actually. If any one of you are interested, you can drop me a message completely free. It's called All There Is. That is a beautiful emptying out activation I did. But for your daily life, or you feel like you're not drawn to this work at all, I think it's important that you have spaciousness in your life where you can cut out all the noise and completely drop into full detachment from who you are, where you are, and allow yourself to be in that space. I know it can be quite difficult for a lot of people, so that's why that is a lot of the work that we do in ceremony with tea, because tea is an ancient medicine. It's not psychedelic, but a lot of people forget that it's actually a very ancient medicine. It's an ancient Chinese medicine that really starts to awaken your heart, and it has an ability to quiet down the mind. And the transmission of the leaf, the spirit of tea, is very unique as well. And so that helps a lot in clearing and emptying. And then of course there's breath work, which is something I quite like to use in my activations as well. Once we start to connect our breath and mind and spirit, breath, mind and body, it makes our body clearer. Our nervous system is not so frazzled. And then the mind starts to quiet down. So it's a combination of several things when you come into my containers. That's why it's so all-rounded. That's why it supports your embodiment of your divinity. Yes, Ilana, it will be on my page. So Ilana is asking me to save this live. For anyone who needs to tap back in, because I know we've gone through quite a lot of stuff today, you can tap into my Instagram. If you're following me on Instagram, drop me a hello. Make sure you do. And if you'd like to join Life of Ceremony, you have until the 21st of February to join us at the pre-sale price. And there is, of course, a payment plan. You're absolutely welcome to join us. And I want to make sure that this is going to be something that you feel nourished doing. So please allow yourself to receive this powerful moment, because this is not just another container. It's truly what I call a divine-led, God-led mastermind, where 8 women come in and share and be in the frequency of God, and you get to really cultivate what a life of ceremony really looks like and feels like for you. It's not a fluke. It really isn't, until you decide it isn't, you know? And it doesn't mean that life doesn't throw you any more challenges. It's just that you look at challenges very differently. And that's where you sustain your emptying, like Amma's asking. Like, the garbage doesn't accumulate anymore, because now you're looking at life very, very differently. And you're doing bigger things. You're not caught up in all the limiting beliefs and the limiting shitholes that you're stuck in. And you see your power. You really see your indestructibility. You really, really see that, oh my God, I can actually leap. I can actually leap so much further than I thought I would. So give yourself a chance. Do something different this year. Like, life will never be the same again, truly. I say that with all my heart. With all my heart. And yes, if it scares you, if it stretches you, perfect. Because that's how it's supposed to feel. Because this is where your solar plexus is busting out. It's like, oh my God, let me expand already. My personal power. So, let this be a decision you make for you. And I look forward to welcoming you into Life of Ceremony. We begin on March 3rd. And the price will rise after the 21st of February to full. So right now it's at £3,333 for the whole duration of March 3rd to 6th of June. And when price rises, it will be £5,555. And payment plan is absolutely available. So reach out. You'll get all the support, all the stuff you need. I love you. I just want to say thank you so much for being here. Be the highest self. Take the radical move as the highest self today. Whatever you do. Whatever you do. All right. I think I feel complete. Any questions? Anything else? I'll just take a pause. If not, we're good to go. Thank you for the hearts. Thank you for the donations. Thank you for all the love. Thank you, beautiful ones. I will see you next time.